Right now on 7 News, after months of waiting, now's your chance to see the National Zoo's new giant pandas.
7 News on your side with what you need to know before you head to the zoo to meet Baoli and Qingbao.
It's a bitter cold start to your Friday morning. In fact, we've been under freezing for over 100 hours, but warmer temperatures on the way. I'll time them out for you.
Breaking overnight, a new wind-fueled fire burning out of control in Southern California. Right now, crews are working around the clock to try and get it contained as President Trump prepares to visit fire-ravaged Los Angeles.
7 News on your side with what you need to know as thousands are expected in the district for an anti-abortion rally.
One more win, and they're in. But the Commanders' road to Super Bowl 59 runs right through Philly in a Sunday showdown with the Eagles.
I'm so used to disappointment. So to not have that, it's changing.
And it is finally Football Friday. We're excited for this weekend's big game. We are live at Glory Days in Alexandria for the best pregame party here on 7 News.
Man, there is a ton to get excited about today. The day is finally here. The National Zoo's new giant pandas, Baoli and Qingbao, making their public debut in just 2 hours. Good Friday morning. I'm Adam Longo.
And I'm Megan Clark. We got senior meteorologist Brian Vandergraff here. We got Britt Waters here. Our Joy Wang is live at the zoo. She's going to join us in just a moment to get you ready for these guys.
It is rare in my house with 3 kids that
Okay.
anything inspires unanimity. We can't all decide. We can't all decide where we're all going to go out to eat, where we're going to go, what we're doing today. The pandas inspire unanimity. Everyone wants to go and see the pandas. Everyone is geeked about it.
That is amazing.
Yeah.
Maybe we can apply that to our big game coming up in a few days, too.
Possibly. I mean, we were trying to coordinate our outfits today to get the panda colors right.
I got panda
did
socks
pick his
on
tie.
today, too.
Couldn't even be unanimous on that.
I got panda socks here.
Panda socks,
All right,
let's
let's
go.
hop over to the wall because I do have some cold air in place this morning, but through the day we'll get above freezing. So that is some positive news here for panda visiting, panda viewing, if you will. Temperatures this morning, though, on the chillier side, 13 in College Park seems to be our cool spot this morning. 27 in Hagerstown. I showed you northwest of town. There were a few flurries and a few extra clouds on the northwest side of town. Those are dissipating. But temperature-wise today, I do see numbers climbing into the 30s. Look at that. By noontime, we're at freezing. I know that doesn't sound like a big accomplishment, but we haven't done that since Sunday. And through the afternoon, we'll have some extra clouds, but mid and upper 30s. All in all, we're finally turning the corner. Let's look at your forecast. Let's talk about what's happening with that morning rush. Traffic weather is always within 7 minutes.
Yeah, because of those freezing. Oh, is that a panda over? Oh no, that's just Danielle Deverell. No pandas on the road, but because of the freezing temperatures, we do have a closure. You can see icy conditions in the district in Northwest Connecticut Avenue. That closure's in place on the southbound side between California Street and Q Street Northwest. Let's look elsewhere where we have more incidents happening. Over in Seat Pleasant, Maryland, 704 MLK Junior Highway. That's where they're doing some water main repairs on the eastbound side that are unfortunately blocking 2 lanes. You can get by it between Eastern Avenue and Addison Road, but it'll slow you down. That's your traffic watch.
All right, Britt, thank you. Watch out for those pandas in the wild over there. Well, speaking of, now to some pandemonium, panda fandom in the DMV. For the last 2 weeks, only members of the zoo were able to come in to see the big panda pair. But when the zoo opens today at 8 o'clock, the public will finally be allowed to come in and meet Qingbao and Baoli.
Yeah, we can finally throw all that exclusivity out the window. The 2 pandas have been getting used to their new home since arriving from China back in October. To 7 News reporter Joy Wang, who's live outside the zoo this morning. Joy, we know that you are overjoyed to being able to meet this panda pair.
Yeah, it's almost like I can feel my fingers and toes standing out here because the thought of the pandas, that's keeping me warm. Okay, 8 months ago, I bought this. The pandas are coming here at the zoo. Now, not only are they here, but it's time for their public debut. And get this, yes, there is a family already waiting in line. I want to step out of the way, but I know it's tough to see because we do have a car right here. But there is a family already waiting from Ohio. They drove here from Ohio to be able to see the pandas. They are the first ones in line right now. All right, enough about that. Let's get you to some panda video already. I know you want to see them so we can tell you more about Qingbao and Baoli and what they've been up to. Both of them are 3 and have been living in an upgraded exhibit with new climbing structures, water features, all the things that make their lives more comfortable. And the zoo says they've been loving their new home. Every day, Qingbao and Baoli each get 100 pounds of bamboo. In the wild, giant pandas almost exclusively eat bamboo. At the zoo, they're fed that as well as nutritious biscuits, carrots, and apples.
we've been training them in a number of different areas. So we have been training them to participate in their own medical care, to respond to the keepers, but also the enrichment, the toys that we put out into the yard. They'll look like big Kong toys, but there's treats inside, and that motivates them with their kind of natural instincts to go looking for food. And we've seen them really take to those toys and really engage with them.
By the way, the family outside right now, Lisa, she said she was here for Bebe and Bao Bao's debut. She was also here to say goodbye, and she, of course, wanted to bring her kid to be able to come see the pandas here as well. It'll be their third zoo for them seeing the pandas here. Back to you.
Oh,
we
so
can
great.
barely contain our excitement.
Oh,
That was lame, but we are excited. All right, Joy, thank you.
That was good.
All right, listen, the Washington Commanders are gearing up for their biggest weekend in a very long time. On Sunday, the team takes on the Philadelphia Eagles in the NFC Championship game.
And on the line, Super Bowl 59. 7 News' Johnny Gonzalez is live at Glory Days Grill in Alexandria. John, we already know how your fans out there are feeling about this weekend. We can hear them.
And the chef here at Glory Days in Alexandria wants to know how many racks of ribs Adam wants this morning. Take a look at the spread we've got here for our Commanders pregame. How exciting is this? The biggest game in 33 years here in the DMV. The Commanders are in the NFC Championship game. The last time that happened, Bill Clinton was being inaugurated and was winning the election. Silence of the Lamb was Best Picture. Dr. Dre had just released his first album. Johnny Carson retired that year. That's how long it has been. Look at this. The Commandalorians are here. They're going to take off their armor here for a little bit to talk to us. We were together at the beginning of the season doing this, and you called this. You had a feeling.
I was right. I knew it. My gut told me we were going to go all the way to the playoffs and to the Super Bowl.
And you guys are going to Philly. Tell me about the trip.
It's exciting. Just my first NFC Championship game. I've been going to games with her for a dozen years, but first time for a championship game for NFC, first time to Philly.
First time to Philly. Wow. Well, hopefully they'll greet you well.
Yes.
Put those back on. They're actually not going to let them wear this gear in the stadium. Boo to the Eagles. But how exciting is this? The Commanders are playing in their 7th NFC Championship game. And I got a chance to talk to Clinton Portis, who was with the team the last time they made a playoff run. Here's what he has to say about this big weekend.
Win or lose, can we say, Clinton, this is a huge success?
Of course. But win, win. Of course, you always get that. You outperform the expectations. We done it. We made it to the NFC Championship game. You get this close, man, win. Why chance it for another year? You got to lay it all on the line, week in, week out. And I think that's what they've been doing as a team.
Why chance it? Win it now. I love that way of thinking. Glory Days here in Alexandria, of course, is having a big viewing party on Sunday for the game at 3 o'clock. Coming up in half an hour, you will hear from our football friend John Booty, who, of course, supports the Commanders, lives here in the DMV, but he played for the Eagles. Reporting live, John Gonzalez, 7 News.
So, Johnny, I just want you to be able to let the fans and the owners there know that I checked with some experts during your hit. This is the most hype 6 o'clock in the morning live report that's ever been on television. So thank them for that. All right, thanks, John.
John, thanks.
All right, so don't forget there's still time to vote on the NFL Fan of the Year. John introduced us to the Commanders Fan of the Year, Dale McCord, earlier this month. He's now competing with 31 other fans to earn that national title, and he's the first ever deaf nominee after losing his hearing at 2 years old. We've got a link up right now to vote at WJLA.com. 7 News Sports Director Scott Abraham is going to be in Philly for the big game, bringing us live coverage. The Commanders kick off against the Eagles Sunday at 3 p.m.
I'm John Rogers here at the Alert Desk. Starting tonight and over the next few days, we'll likely see a lot of movement on President Trump's cabinet picks. At about 9 o'clock tonight, Defense Secretary nominee Pete Hegseth is expected to get a final confirmation vote. He passed yesterday's procedural vote along party lines, despite two key Republicans not backing him and a slew of allegations against him, including sexual assault. Hegseth was never charged with a crime and says these allegations are false.
All right, John, thank you. Well, happening today, thousands of people are expected in D.C. for the 2025 March for Life. And this is a live look near the National Mall where they will be gathering a little bit later this morning, early afternoon. And included in that group are hundreds of students and their families from Catholic University in Northeast D.C. The university has taken part in the march since it started. Several recent surveys show a majority of young adults ages 18 to 30 support legal abortion. So I asked school staff and the president of March for Life what they're seeing.
You know, you can look at different polls, for example, the General Social Survey. This is over decades measuring different cohorts. And that survey, its latest results show that the young people are moving most in the direction of life more than any other age cohort.
The work of the pro-life movement is not over. In fact, there's still more to do in terms of witnessing to the dignity of human life, changing minds and hearts, but also being active on the ground in every neighborhood, in every community, offering support, not just prayer support and fraternal support, but even material support.
And you can read more from my interview with the March for Life president on what she hopes to see from the Trump administration. We'll have that up on our website, WJLA.com. Now, the march starts today at 1 p.m. with a rally at noon. And another live look from the National Zoo as we await the big public debut of the new giant pandas. We're helping you get ready to meet Qing Bao, Bao Li. We're hearing all those stories of those already waiting out there all morning long. It is 6:13. Time now for your morning minute. A woman is now charged in that crash that killed 3 friends in Upper Marlboro last July. Kyrie Jackson, a Minnesota Vikings rookie, along with Isaiah Hazel and Anthony Lynn Jr., all played together. They played football at Wise High School. And officials say 23-year-old Corey Klingman was driving under the influence of alcohol when the crash happened. Well, Fairfax County firefighters are warning about possible service cuts that could impact public safety. A Fairfax County Board of Supervisors member Pat Harity says the county executive asked departments to find places to cut. And it's not just fire departments that could be impacted. Police to parks are looking at potential cuts, so we'll get a look at the budget proposal when it is revealed next month. And a traffic alert if you take the Beltway in Virginia. We've been reminding you of this for a couple days. Starting tonight, crews will install 5 bridge beams near Tyson's. We have a map here showing the work area specifically in a really busy spot, but we do have detours for you. You can see those here in the purple, pink, and blue. So you can also get a closer look at this map. It is up for you right now on WJLA.com.
Thanks, Megan. Covering the Washington Commanders once again. It was one of the biggest highlights of the Commanders season, right? This game-winning 52-yard Hail Mary pass against the Bears, just pulling it in. This was Megan's first NFL game, by the way. She went to that game. She was there. The whole thing could have ended a lot differently if a Bears player wasn't busy heckling some Commanders fans instead of playing defense. ABC News correspondent Ike Jochi is live in an Old Town Alexandria bar. There, a bar owned by Commanders fans. A lot of folks up there early with you, Ike.
Ooh, it's early, but we are here in abundance. How are we feeling, guys? Hail to the Commanders. We're here at Augie's in Alexandria. It's a very special bar because it's co-owned by my man Chad Sparrow, who you may know a little bit because if you were watching that game against the Chicago Bears, you saw Tariq Stevenson essentially heckle a fan out there, not pay attention to the game. Who's that fan, you may ask? My man right here who owns this bar. Essentially, what we saw that Hail Mary pass come to fruition, partly because that defense wasn't paying attention. And here we are right now on the verge of one game away from a Super Bowl. We haven't had NFC East teams, 2 NFC East teams play each other in a conference championship in almost 40 years. And the Commanders haven't been to a Super Bowl in 33 years. Right now, everyone here, they're pumped up. We're ready for this game. They're feeling very confident. They know that the Eagles don't have a chance, right? Right. So these guys are here early. They're going to be here for the game to cheer on the Commanders to make sure they make it all the way. And I got to bring my man Fred over here. Thanks for joining us. Fred Taylor, you guys may know him. He's a Commander great over here. What's going on? How are you?
How's it going?
Say something real quick. Speak right here. I know we don't got some mics. Say something real quick for the Commanders.
It's been a long time coming. It's been time for the DMV. I know you guys been waiting for this. We in the NFC Championship. We're going to go get that big W.
Let's go. The Commanders are ready. The rookie phenom, Jaden Daniels, he's pumped up. He's ready to lead this team all the way to the Super Bowl. And can I get a HTTC for you guys? Hail the Commanders. How about it? Let's go, guys. Adam. I'll see you at the game.
They are going to be raising hail there all weekend long. You got to milk every moment of this excitement. Ike, thank you, and thank everybody there with you for getting up with us this morning. Appreciate it.
How about that, guys?
Oh,
let's go.
Such good energy. We love it. Ike, thank you so much. Okay, so if you want to go to Sunday's game, get ready to pay some big money here. John Rogers is at the alert desk. He's tracking how much you will be shelling out for those last-minute tickets.
Maybe take out a second mortgage or something.
No.
These are not cheap. So if you've been waiting to the last minute, I'm sorry, folks. You're going to have to go shell out. So I'm going to talk about some of these prices we've been seeing. If you don't understand the laws of supply and demand, well, ticket prices have gone up the last few days. Looking over at StubHub, your cheapest option, standing room only, no seat, really lousy view. You're looking at spending close to $600. But if you do want a chair, go sit in the nosebleeds. You know, you're looking at $630 on up. I'm looking at $700, $800. Now, if you want some affordable, lower level seats somewhere over here, you're starting at $850 and going to like $1,300. If you want the best view, you're looking at $24,000. That's the price of a Volkswagen Jetta, guys.
All right, well, let's check in now with folks who might be out on the roads in their Jetta or about to hop into it. Britt Waters is tracking our morning commute. What do you say?
Absolutely. Not just the morning I'm looking at, but also a little bit later on today from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. Megan told you earlier about the March for Life. It is going to affect how you navigate around the city with street closures affecting portions of Constitution, Pennsylvania, 17th through 3rd Street, 12th Street Tunnel, 9th Street, Jefferson Drive, Independence Avenue. All of these are up, so you can keep them in mind at WJLA.com. Right now, SkyTrack 7 is up, and we do have some volume out there. It's not our only problem. On the outer loop, we have slowdowns happening from I-95 to Georgia Avenue, including a crash at University Boulevard that is just not making it any better. Hopefully, we can just look forward to the weekend. You know, last time I was out in Philly last week, the snow was so crazy. Is it still coming down? Are we still seeing flurries somewhere?
Yeah, a few flurries off to our north and west, Britt. I've been tracking a few of those here on our radar. You can also check these out on the First Alert Weather app, which you can download for free at the App Store. Easy to get. From Martinsburg to Hagerstown, a few flakes flying. The air is super duper dry. I've been looking at all of our cameras out there and not really much coming down that is even really reaching the ground, but a few flakes could be flying out there as a little energy rotates through across our area to the north and west. Temperatures this morning very cold across the area, but not single-digit cold. We at least have 2 digits here for our temperatures. 16 in Rockville, 23 in Leesburg, Haymarket at 18, 12 this morning in Leonardtown. Notice it's a bit milder north and west because of those flakes, and there are a few extra clouds off to our north and west. So we'll go in and out of the clouds today. Some clouds early on, some sunshine, back to some clouds. I think by the time we get around lunchtime, we'll finally get above freezing. Folks, we have not had a temperature above freezing since Sunday at 6 p.m. was the last 32-degree reading. So today, we're finally going to do it after nearly 4.5 days. We finally break the freeze, mid to upper 30s on either side of 40 degrees, and then slipping back into the 20s again tonight. In fact, tomorrow morning, Saturday morning, got some plans, maybe some sports activities with the kiddos. It is going to be in the teens when you wake up and head out the door. Tomorrow afternoon, much like today with 30s, but I think we'll actually have a little bit more in the way of sunshine. So a little sunnier but cool on Saturday. More clouds on Sunday, but Sunday's temperatures mid to upper 40s. We can make a run near 50 degrees. Let me show you this 7-day forecast because early next week, look at Monday 50, Tuesday and Wednesday mid to upper 50s. Next cold front not until next Wednesday, and we're looking pretty dry all the way through the next 7 days leading into the month of February. Traffic and weather always within 7 minutes.
Okay, I know it's the moment that you've been waiting for. The Pandas, their public debut today. I've got my blanket with me, a panda blanket. There's a family already waiting outside. What they had to say in about 10 minutes.
Now in Los Angeles, firefighters just can't seem to get a break. New fires sparked yesterday, adding to the burden of the crews still struggling to put out blazes that have ravaged tens of thousands of acres there. Now, while crews are making great progress containing the Palisades and Eaton fires, the Hughes fire, which sparked on Wednesday, has consumed more than 10,000 acres, and it's only 36% contained. Heavy rains are expected this weekend, which you would think is good news, but this is actually raising concerns of possible mudslides. LA crews are ready for the changing weather conditions, and Governor Newsom just signed legislation directing $2.5 billion in aid to support response and recovery efforts. Megan?
All right, John, thank you. And if you are seeing those videos, you want to help, our parent company Sinclair is partnering with the Salvation Army to provide critical assistance to those who've been impacted by these fires. To get started, you can scan the QR code up on your screen, or you can go to sinclaircares.com. Crews are delivering the essentials, the food, fresh water, relief supplies to some of those hardest hit areas.
All right, checking in on the morning commute, we want to give you a live look from SkyTrack 7, which just launched. Here he is over the Beltway. Britt Waters is back next to help us plan our drive in. Not too bad on the Beltway right now. And somebody's taken off and headed to town. Maybe they're headed to Philly. Another live look outside on this Friday morning, looking over the Potomac. Another bitterly cold start, but a slight warm-up is on the way for the weekend and into next week. You might not need gloves later today when you go outside. That would be revolutionary, wouldn't it? Senior meteorologist Brian Vandegraff back with your forecast next.
Helping plan your day with traffic and weather together. Always within. You're watching 7 News on your side at 6 a.m.
Right now on 7 News, if you are sick and tired of this bitter cold, join the club. But listen, we're going to have to deal with it for just one more morning.
Warmer temperatures are in the forecast. Senior meteorologist Brian Vandegraff is here with what you need to know before you head out this morning.
You know who is excited about the bitter cold, though? The Pandas. They absolutely love it. Definitely bundle up before you head out to see Qingbao and Baoli today. Plus, we've got details on how you can see them even if you can't make it to the zoo.
And we are already pre-gaming this Friday morning with the best Commanders fans in town. And we're finally digging into the food here at Glory Days in Alexandria.
Let's go. Why are we even sitting down? Get into this chair. I'm pumped. Yeah. Let's do this.
That looked amazing. Good morning. Thank you so much for joining us this morning. I'm Megan Clark.
I'm Adam Longo. Britt Waters is here with us. John Rogers, senior meteorologist Brian Vandegraff, and we are raising all kinds of hail this Friday morning.
Gotta show some leg here.
Let's see.
Getting ready for the Commanders.
Panda song.
Oh, yeah. And Pandas.
Oh.
Well, you said
we've got a lot
Commandas and Pandas.
The Commandas.
Compandas. Compandas. Oh my God.
Now, keep in mind, heading into this big game on Sunday, the Commanders won one game against Philly. Philly won one game. Jalen Hurts, who's the Philly quarterback, was hurt for one of those games, the game that the Commanders won.
Yeah, you beat the backup.
Yeah, and Jaden Daniels was hurt in the loss. He was coming off of that
No,
rib
he wasn't.
injury.
He played the entire game.
In the game, but he wasn't.
Played the entire game.
He wasn't 100%. All right, so now
Let me
we're
just
gonna
go
get
over
to
here
see-
with the bird. Where I belong.
Bye-bye. All right, so why don't we get into what we're going to be dealing with?
I want to talk about the Pandas because it's a pandemonium, right? And our Joy Wang is out there. We're going to chat with her momentarily. But what if you're headed out to check out the Pandas today? What can you expect? Well, look, I've got the forecast right here for you to see. Temperatures will be going from the teens into the 20s, 20s into the 30s. I do think it'll be our first day finally getting above the freezing mark. As you can see through the latter half of the afternoon right below me here, I do think by around noontime we're at freezing, and then through the afternoon, mid and upper 30s. We'll be in and out of the clouds, but still a much better day to go meet our new furry friends. Let's look at the forecast. Traffic and weather always within 7 minutes. Britt Waters, what you got going over there?
Multiple incidents. Let's talk with these water main breaks and water main work. One's happening out in Seat Pleasant, 704, right there on MLK Junior Highway, blocking 2 lanes on the eastbound side, but you can get around it. This is between Eastern Avenue and Addison Road. Elsewhere, more water main work, and this one's more of a headache, happening in the district on the southbound side of DC 295. I usually talk about volume in that area, but now right at Benning, 2 left lanes are blocked. So these speeds are dropping all the way down to single-digit speeds. Elsewhere, Connecticut Avenue, this is just a bunch of icy conditions happening in the district. So a closure is in place on the southbound side between California Street and Q Street Northwest. That's your traffic watch.
All right, got a little tour of the studio there.
Exciting.
That was fantastic. All right, now to the pandemonium. See, everybody, even in the control room, they're excited.
So
they can't
excited.
control themselves now. So in less than 2 hours, the National Zoo will welcome the public to meet their new giant pandas, Qingbao and Baoli, for the first time since they arrived back in October.
This is a big day, and members of the zoo got a sneak peek of the panda duo for the last 2 weeks. So starting today, finally, the people. They are the people's pandas as of today. 7 News' Joy Wang is live at the zoo this morning to help us all get ready to meet our favorite bears. Joy, good morning.
Good morning. You know, right after the metro stations opened at 5 o'clock this morning, I rushed to the Cleveland Park and Woodley Park Zoo to grab myself one of these. I am so excited, and a lot of people already excited this morning as well, including a family that's actually waiting outside of the gate. I know it's difficult to say because there's a lot of media out here this morning excited about the pandas, but they are wearing their panda outfits, driving here from Ohio to be the first ones in line. All right, enough about what's happening outside the zoo. Let's get you inside and show you some videos of the stars, Baoli and Qingbao. Both of them are 3 years old. Baoli is actually Smithsonian panda royalty. His mom was born here at the zoo, and his grandparents lived here for more than 20 years before leaving back in 2023. In Mandarin, Bao means precious and treasure. Meanwhile, Li refers to vitality and strength. So together, his name Baoli means active and vital power. As for Qingbao, that first word, Qing, means green and treasure. Think of the lush and mountainous habitat of pandas. And you already know that Bao means precious and treasure. So her name reflects how cherished and adored she is. The two have already been showing off their very different personalities to the 11,000 members who got a preview the past couple of weeks.
Baoli, who's our male, is very outgoing. He's fun-loving, he loves to romp around, and has a great time doing it. Qingbao, who's the female, a little bit more shy, but certainly incredibly curious, loves to come out, loves to assess what's going on around her, and loves to climb trees. So she's always climbing a tree and really wowing our visitors.
The family that's first in line this morning, they got here just after 5 o'clock. Lisa, the mom, she tells me she was at the zoo for Bao Bao and Bebe's debut, and so she thought she, of course, wanted to bring her son to be able to come to this latest debut to see Baoli and Qingbao. By the way, 8 months ago, I bought this for myself. The pandas are coming. I cannot believe not only are they here, but we'll finally get to meet them today. Back to you.
Well, so excited. They're pulling U-turns right in the middle of Connecticut Avenue behind you. That's a little scary. All right, Joy, thank you. All right, covering the Washington Commanders now. What are you doing? We got to stand for this team. Rise.
Woo!
They're getting ready for the
Hail
biggest
the
weekend in a very
Commanders.
long time. The team takes on the Eagles Sunday in Philly. A trip to the Super Bowl is on the line.
We are so excited. We know the fans are excited. 7 News' Natalie Spalla, sports director Scott Abraham are here with how the players themselves are feeling and why they're feeling confident heading into Sunday's NFC Championship game.
Yeah, good morning, everybody. Happy Friday morning to you. Hopefully you're enjoying that fresh cup of coffee. And I tell you, we're getting so close to Sunday, the NFC Championship game, the Commanders and the Eagles battling for a spot in the Super Bowl.
Oh, I am excited. And, you know, there are several reasons why the team has gotten itself to this point. Let's start with reason number one, and that is rookie quarterback Jaden Daniels. He has been absolutely exceptional for this team this season. And he and the team were back on the practice field, practicing, getting ready, implementing that Eagles game plan, and it became official on Thursday. He is now a finalist for the NFL's Offensive Rookie of the Year. Scott, are you surprised?
Not at all.
I know I'm not surprised at all. And of course, his teammates, not surprised either.
He's special. I mean, from the time he walked in OTAs, he had that it about him, and the way he carries himself, the way he prepares. It's no secret, it's no surprise to me that he's having the success that he's had because the guy put the work in.
He's great, man. Great leader, great person. Everything you see on Sunday, I mean, he does that every single day. This is day one he stepped in here, so it's incredible.
Yeah, just seeing his growth from week one till now is it's been big for this whole team, this organization.
Yeah, it's awesome. Just, you know, the poise and the calm, cool collectedness that he brings. No moment too high or too low for that guy. And I think he does a great job with his personality of that. I think of just bringing everyone to that level too.
And as expected, Jaden Daniels will perhaps play a massive role in the outcome of Sunday's game. Commanders, Eagles, 3 o'clock in Philly. I couldn't be more excited, Scott.
Jaden just has to be Jaden.
Yeah.
He's done it all season long. It's been pretty good. Can't wait for this game on Sunday. Enjoy the rest of your morning. Have some bacon, have some eggs, maybe some French toast too.
Coffee.
I'm in the mood for that. Have a good one, everybody.
Nah, forget all that, Scott. We're going to get into some wings.
Yeah.
Some fried goodness. Of course, the players are excited, but Commanders fans, I mean, listen, after all of the seasons of disappointment, it's just mind blown for all of the fans of this team. We're this close away from a spot in the Super Bowl.
It is so exciting. I mean, more than 30 years, longer than some of these fans have been alive. We want to check in now with our Johnny Gonzalez. He's live at Glory Days Grill in Alexandria because, John, your crew there, they're pumped up after this wildly successful season.
Let's go.
I mean, how exciting is this? The crowd is ready to go. The fans are excited. They want those dirty birds. And it will be the 7th time the Commanders are in an NFC Championship game. They're 5-1. And the last time they played the Eagles, the only time, was back in 1990 in the playoffs. These two teams did play in the playoffs. How about the spread here? Captain Obvious, did the mayor of Philadelphia give you this sign? That's one of Captain Obvious's new signs. And Rev T's back there. He's been yelling, "Why not us?" That's his new slogan, "Why not us?" And look who's joined us here at Glory Days in Alexandria. Victor Ramirez, former Maryland senator. You're a huge fan. You were in Detroit.
I was in Detroit, the happiest day of my football life as an adult. I tell you, for me, it was something exciting, the adrenaline, and now on to the Super Bowl.
On to the Super Bowl. And, you know, I got a chance to sit down with our good football friend, John Booty, who is a huge supporter of the Commanders, lives in the D.C. area, but he played for the Philadelphia Eagles. Quite a challenge for him. Here's what he had to say.
I live in the D.C. area. Yeah, everybody knows I play for the Philadelphia Eagles, but I'm excited for the Commanders because this is the Why Not Us team. And they've been doing it all year, you know, going up to Detroit, saying, hey, we're going to go into your house and punch you in the mouth and get a victory. You know, that could happen in Philadelphia.
Let's go, Commanders. Let's go. So it has been since 1992, the NFC Championship game. Hard to believe the Commanders are one win away from going to the Super Bowl. And if you ask this crowd here in Alexandria, they have no doubts that this team is going to win on Sunday. Reporting live, John Gonzalez, 7 News.
And we just have to point out that those fans have been bringing that energy since your first live report at 5 o'clock this morning. We appreciate them. We appreciate the folks out there at the bar letting us in at this early hour. John, enjoy. Thank you. Now, 7 News Sports Director Scott Abraham will be in Philly for the big game, bringing us live coverage all weekend. The Commanders kick off against the Eagles this Sunday at 3 p.m.
Now, your traffic and weather together, always within 7 minutes.
Oh, and a live look at Lincoln Financial Field. Brent, what do you say it's called?
The Link.
The Link? Oh, that's just downtown. Sorry, I thought we were pulling up a field of the state. I thought it was going to rotate over there. Sorry, that's just downtown. But obviously they're bedecked in green because, well, that is their home color, right? Let's talk about what's happening. If you are headed up the 95 corridor to the game, temperatures will be in the low 40s around 1 p.m., doing a little tailgating, light breezes, around 40 at kickoff, falling through the 30s. But all in all, still should be fairly comfortable for the game. Britt?
Still over here. Be very warm and bundle up if you were walking to the rails. You might have to wait a little bit on the MARC train. 35-minute delays on the Penn line. Metro VRE, you are good to go. Street closures will happen in the district because of that March for Life from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. All of them posted up at WJLA.com. Those major streets that will have portions closed is Constitution Avenue and Pennsylvania Avenue, Independence as well. And then the big, massive beam replacement project that also starts tonight. Going to go into Monday, all spelled out for you up at WJLA.com. But just know that 6 lanes will now be reduced to 2 right there on the inner loop between Route 7 and the Dulles Toll Road. That's your traffic watch.
A new twist this morning in the fight over airline fees, which have soared to new heights. I'm back in less than 5 minutes with what it means for your wallet.
Twist this morning in the fight over airline fees, which have soared to new heights. Members of Congress are now involved, demanding an explanation from two budget carriers about a move that could be costing you more money.
Yeah, it adds up. We were just talking about it in the break. 7 News anchor Melanie Hastings is here to explain, Mel.
Yeah, so, of course, we're all looking to save money on our next trip, but could where you live actually impact how much you pay? Well, a bipartisan group of senators is demanding to know whether the airlines are charging you more for a ticket depending on your zip code. Well, the senators wrote a letter to the CEOs of Spirit and Frontier Airlines asking them to explain their apparent practice of using customers' personal information to charge different seat fees to passengers on the same flight. And they added that the airline's lack of transparency raises concerns. They use customers' personal information to manipulate seat pricing. Now, the letter follows a contentious hearing on Capitol Hill last month.
They feel, with more than understandable justification, that they are piggy banks to be shaken down by these skyrocketing fees.
You just say, you want to pick a seat, we're just going to charge you some random amount more.
Now, the lawmakers want Spirit and Frontier to end the practice of collecting personal information before they show the fees. And they have asked the airlines to respond to their letter by February 25th. This is a story 7 News will stay on top of, and of course, we'll let you know what happens.
Melanie, thanks. 646 back here at the alert desk. Later this morning, President Trump is headed out to his first trip of his second administration. At about 11 a.m., he'll arrive in hurricane-battered western North Carolina, and he plans to focus on communities' ongoing recovery efforts. And then he plans to fly over to wildfire-ravaged Los Angeles. He'll be greeted by Governor Gavin Newsom, and the White House has asked California congressional members, including Democrats, to hold a roundtable in Santa Monica during his visit. 7 News will bring you coverage of this trip throughout the day.
All right, John, thank you. To some other headlines now coming out of the Trump administration. President Trump has pardoned the anti-abortion activists who were convicted of breaking into a D.C. abortion clinic in 2020 and blocking off entry to patients and staff. Well, last year, a federal jury sentenced the group's organizer to nearly 5 years in prison for her role in the blockade. Also, the president is vowing to appeal a federal judge's ruling to block his executive order to end birthright citizenship. The judge called the executive order blatantly unconstitutional. And finally, the president signed an executive order to declassify the remaining files related to the assassinations of President John F. Kennedy, Senator Robert F. Kennedy, and the Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. The order says the King and Kennedy families and the American people deserve transparency and truth.
And traffic and weather together as we look outside. A beautiful sky this morning. Get a little bit of a cloud deck out there. Sun will be coming up just a little before 7:20. And we're looking at a pretty nice day ahead. Temperatures finally getting above the freezing mark. It is a cold morning to start, yes, but finally above freezing by around noontime. A mix of sun and clouds. Temperatures mid to upper 30s. Sundown at 5:21. We're going to basically repeat this whole pattern tomorrow. But by Sunday, I'm looking at highs near 50. We'll touch on that 7-day forecast coming up in less than 7. Britt Waters, what are you looking at?
I'm looking at crashes, repairs, and ice, and all the things that are impacting your morning commute today. Right now, Forestville, Maryland, Pennsylvania Avenue, Route 4. So we just get a crash in northbound right after Dower House Road. It's not closed completely, but it is blocking that left lane. So it's moving slow, speeds down to single digits, 5 miles per hour, working your way around that. Elsewhere in the district, DC 295, I usually talk about volume on the southbound side. Now add in some water main work at Benning Road that's blocking multiple lanes, slowing things down over there. Icy conditions still closing a portion of Connecticut Avenue in Northwest. That's your traffic watch.
All right, to the fun stuff now. Britt, thank you. Pandemonium is back in D.C. We are so geeked that we're finally able to see the two newest pandas, and you're going to get you ready to meet them at the zoo.
And first, here's what's coming up 10 away on GMA.
In this morning's GMA First Look, accused Idaho College murder suspect Brian Kohberger back in court in a bid to get critical DNA evidence against him dismissed. Lead defense attorney Ann Taylor arguing yesterday authorities initially relied on information from the surviving roommate who told police she had been drinking too much and had memory problems. She also says one of the victims came down the stairs during the time of the attack.
They know that fact is wrong.
The defense arguing that information was not provided to the judge at the time, laying the groundwork to question the beginning of the investigation and collection of evidence that led prosecutors to zero in on Kohberger, but prosecutors pushing back.
And there is
nothing obtained that was obtained in violation of any of the defendant's constitutional rights.
Coming up at 7 a.m., we'll tell you what's next in this high-profile case. With your GMA First Look, I'm Andrew Dimbert, ABC News, New York.
Touch can mean so many things, even for people with moderate to severe eczema. Touch can make two feel like one, or simply be a helping hand. Dupixent can help you stay ahead of eczema as you welcome the feeling of touch. Dupixent helps block a key source of inflammation inside the body that can cause eczema to help heal your skin from within. Many adults saw 90% clearer skin. Some even achieved long-lasting clearer skin. And fast itch relief after the first dose. Severe allergic reactions can occur. Get help right away for face, mouth, tongue, or throat swelling, wheezing, or trouble breathing. Tell your doctor of new or worsening eye problems like eye pain, vision changes, or blurred vision, joint aches and pain, or a parasitic infection. Don't change or stop asthma or other medicines without talking to your doctor. Dupixent, the #1 prescribed biologic by dermatologists and allergists, helps you feel the heal. See the difference for yourself. Reach out to your eczema specialist today.
And time now for your Morning Minute. 7 News' Joy Wang is at the National Zoo this morning, where in just an hour, the zoo's new giant pandas will finally become the people's pandas. Joy, good morning.
Can you believe it? This really is a moment we've been waiting months for. From the pandas are coming to the pandas finally being here, and then today their public debut, Bali and Qingbao on the Metro cards. Well, people are so excited to get inside. The Panda Cam live at 7 o'clock. We've got more details up on WJLA.com. Don't forget to get your tickets online and hope to see you out here.
Joy has been beaming all morning. The Commanders' magical season all comes down to this, a showdown with the Philadelphia Eagles in the NFC Championship game. They've faced each other twice this season, and each team has won one of those games. And now a trip to Super Bowl 59 on the line. Sunday's kickoff, 3 p.m. in Philly, and 7 News will be there live.
And thousands of people are expected to converge on the National Mall today for the March for Life, an anti-abortion rally. Parts of several major roads, including Constitution and Pennsylvania Avenues, will be closed starting at 10 this morning all the way until 4 p.m. So we have a full list of closures for you on WJLA.com.
And traffic and weather always together. Looking at 3 things you should know before you head out the door today. We finally get above freezing. It's been 100+ hours since Sunday night that we had a temperature of 32 or above. It will happen around lunchtime today. A dry weekend headed our way as we head through the next couple of days. But Sunday will be my pick of the weekend because on Sunday we will be near 50 degrees. Take a look at this extended forecast. 30s today and tomorrow, teens in the morning. By Sunday morning, we're in the 30s and mid to upper 40s through the afternoon. Even early next week, we're talking 50s as we round out the last week of the month of January. Britt?
I love a slight warm up, especially for those who have to walk outside to the rails, at least when you get there. Metro VRE doing well. Mark still have Penn line delays up to 35 minutes on train 511. There's departure delays for Perryville. Looking elsewhere, Inner Loop. This is going to be a game changer starting tonight, lasting until Monday morning. That big beam replacement project will be in effect. So 6 lanes will be reduced into 2. That's definitely going to cause a slowdown happening on the Inner Loop right between Route 7 and the Dulles Toll Road. Also, multiple ramps will be affected leading up to that Dulles corridor. All of this up at WJLA.com. That's your traffic watch.
Yeah, bro, just stay away from that whole spot. Rick, thank you. All right, that's going to do it for us here on 7 News this morning. If you head out to see the pandas today, send us your pictures. WJLA.com/chime in.
We hope you do get to see them. Good Morning America is next. Have a great Friday morning.